No longer deal with Joseph Kabila. Michael Tshibangu, is that realistic?
Well, in a way, as a way of putting pressure on Kabila, it is worth noting that Kabila has been in power for now almost 15 years. It was obviously there's supposed to be election. He's supposed to have left power by by December the 20th, and he hasn't done that. And part of it is because he doesn't want to leave. So I believe it is right to put pressure on Kabila, and one way of doing that is by not acknowledging him as the legitimate president of the Democratic Republic of Congo, because so far he's not showing any positive sign. He's not really helping the situation. We've seen him, whilst the Catholic Church is trying to find a consensus, we see Kabila cracking down and arresting more people. Well, at the negotiation, the opposition were asking for signs of basically confidence-building measures, amongst which the release of prisoners. But what we've seen is the opposite. Rather than releasing prisoners, Kabila is actually arresting more people, and is also chose to appoint a government at this particular time when the church was supposed to find a consensus, and then forward maybe another government. So we see Kabila actually trying to block things. It's not really making things easy.
Not making things easy, but Michael, let me ask you, what do you think of that initiative by the church? Should the opposition, because the opposition is of two minds, should they be taking part in these talks to try to find a peaceful way out of this?
They are already taking part. They are already at a dialogue. The opposition have made significant amount of consensus. Now at the dialogue, most of the opposition leaders there now agree that Kabila can stay. However, what they want in return is for a short transition, but most importantly, a commitment from Kabila that is not going to use this particular time to change the constitution and to stay on. But so far, Kabila has refused to give guarantees that he will step down, even if he's allowed to stay. That is totally unacceptable. Not only that he was supposed to go, but he refuses, even if he's allowed to stay, to give guarantees that he won't change the constitution. And this is why the dialogue is not progressing now. The stalemate is at that level. Kabila has to agree that he needs to go, and we at the opposition is actually giving him a chance to leave peacefully, but all they want is just some firm guarantees from him.
But you agree with him, you agree with continuing on with that dialogue?
The dialogue is actually ongoing. I think that at one point people are asking questions whether it is worth continuing with the dialogue when the person you are talking to is actually trying, rather than helping, rather than making significant concession, is actually trying to make things harder. So the reason it is questionable whether the opposition should continue, but the opposition want a peaceful outcome. They've made a lot of concession, but unfortunately, on the other side, what they've been met with is crackdown, arrest of opposition, shutting down of the medias, and more repression, and actually making things even worse and making the position at the dialogue even more difficult.
All right, Benedict, Kumbi and Joko, your reaction to what you heard Michael just say. Yeah, patience wearing thin with an opposition that feels as though Kabila is being intransigent, but we have to give it this dialogue a shot. You agree?
Well, I always ask myself a question. When we think about the way Mr. Kabila came into the Congo, this was a rebel. And the first time elections were held in Congo, actually the observator also said that there was some fraud. And in 2011, again, we had again some fraud, and even the Cardinal Mosengo, who's one of our leading figure in Congo, said that the results of these elections in 2011 were not reflecting the reality. So we have a person here who